go to the strong side. So here, right? So strong side, whenever we're defending, right? Yesterday, we did strong side, maintain the strong side. So we're gonna do escaping the strong side. So whenever I'm here, I like to go on the inside with my thumb and then pitch my elbows down like this, here. So then it's hard, and I have a good grasp of his underhook and of his wrist, like this, right? So now when he tries to attack me, it's gonna be a little bit difficult. So the first easy one is just I'm gonna bridge over to the weak side, right? So I can put my 2 feet down, I can bridge over to my weak side and get my head in a better position, like that. And now I start to rotate my shoulders to the ground. Sorry, let's turn. Rotate my shoulder to the ground. I want to create a wedge here in James. So depending on where I am, I can either turn in and come up, or I could snake out, and I'm going to block them out. So when he starts coming up, I can start putting in my hooks and getting into whatever guard I like. So, right, we were on the strong side last week, so I'm going to grab here, keep everything pinched, right? Because if I just grab this top one, he can always, control my wrist, or he can pull this out and start attacking me with that arm because that one's not being trapped. So I like to control this and keep it tight. I'm going to put my feet on the ground. I start bridging over to the weak side like this, getting my shoulders to the mat and my head flat. Then I'm going to create a wedge with my right arm like this. And the reason why is because if I don't have the wedge, he can still continue to take my back. Yeah. Right? So I want to create that wedge. And usually I'll probably stake out. I can come on top position or block the knee. So then when he starts coming up to the top, I can put my hook in and then start to sweep. So this is just our standard simple one, right? So strong side, I'm pulling. Right, I'm going to bridge up and over to my weak side, get my head free, get my shoulders down, block, and then either turn in, come up, or create space so then I can start putting in my hooks and then play guard. Okay, so that's the first one. Any questions? All right, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that should be pretty basic, right? But if we can't bridge to that side, right? Typically what I'll do is I'm going to come underneath and I'm going to reinforce, and I'm going to scoot down a little bit, and then I pass his arm as I start moving my feet to this side, and I want to keep his arm really close to my body like this because I don't want to just release it and he starts retaking my neck again, and then we're back in this position again. So I'm here, I'm pulling this down to create a little bit of space, and then I'm just going to walk a little bit, turn my hips, and then pass here. Now from here I can do the same thing. If his hook is over the top, right, I can just start blocking, same thing, snaking out, it's coming up, or recovering guard. But this will probably be like a more common thing that happens is that I want to pull this down to create a little bit of space as I'm walking my hips, and then I come under and I pull. Keep this tight. Space, either come up, or if he comes up, make sure you're getting into your guard. One more. Simple. Yeah. Because if he has a really tight seatbelt like we talked about last week, I won't be able to duck under. So I have to pull this in, just like we did before. I start rotating my hips a little bit. Now I can pull in tight. You can even use this to like start to climb up to his arm or create space. And then when he comes up, I start putting in my hooks and then going for my sweeps. Okay, any questions? All right, 1, 2, 3. He has that same strong side, and then he's gonna body lock me, right? Yeah, this is nice. This is terrible. So he might have it here, or he might be hooking my leg, right? If he's hooking the leg, or if it's the other one, it's gonna be the same process, right? So I need to bring my leg and I need to clear this. But if I'm here in my hips and I kick out, he's probably gonna follow me, right? So I like to drive off of my toes. Oh, and don't forget, always protecting your neck, right? So I like to drive off of my toes and then kick. Now I'm gonna swing my left leg under. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to. Under, so then the lock is no longer on my hip, The lock would be more center. And then I can start pulling, redirecting, and pulling this in tight. So it's harder for him to come up, right? You can push, that's fine. But when you push, he's gonna create space and he's gonna do like a text head, yeah. And then he's gonna come up on top. So just keep that in mind. If I have his arm here, it's a little bit harder for him to like be mobile and to move. Then I can start turning in, creating space, recovering my guard when I'm ready, or getting top position. So, strong side, he has the body lock, right? And he's hooking my leg. If he's not hooking the leg, you can just scissor and then switch under. But if he is hooking, right, or protecting, I like to go onto my toes. Because if I just kick here, he's gonna follow. Yeah, going to follow? Yeah, here. So I need to drive and then kick, swing my leg, and bring my hips up to the sky like this. Then I can create a little bit of space. I'll bridge into it if I need to. And come down, I pull, create space, and I can come up. Okay, one more time. So, here, and he's hooking. Nice. So, drive off of my toes. I swing, bring it low, hips. Then I can pull, keep this nice tight. I could climb up on his neck or create space, getting ready for him to come up so I can immediately go for my sweeps. Okay? Any questions? All right, 1, 2, 3. So on Monday, I did the second option like I'm doing here, but I'm modifying this one a little bit. Because on Monday, if you guys were here, when my hips can't rotate at all, I was wedging and then I was catching here, right? But we'll show you another option from here. Because even though I can't rotate my hips, I can still step. So I'm protecting. I can step into a little bit of a scissor and I start driving the hood like this. Now I'm going to swing my left leg and go over the lock. Go as high as I can over the lock like that. Sometimes it'll open, sometimes it won't, right? I'm going to pull this in tight, his ankle, and then I'm going to see, because if I keep it here, he's going to cross his feet, 100%. But if I'm able to get it, he can't cross his feet, and this is a bad position for him. Now I can put 2 feet on the ground, and I bridge up, and it drops the lock. Now I'll catch, come underneath, and then I can do the same thing like we did before. So it's just a little modification that we did from Monday. Both work completely well. I think some people were afraid to get this. It wasn't really working for some people during training. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna keep this in tight, and I'm gonna scissor, just like this, and drive in Jose a little bit. Notice how it puts tension onto his lock. Now I'm gonna swing my left leg, go over the top and catch. Now I can pull, bridge up, sorry, catch, and then I'm out. Right, so I'm pulling this in nice and tight. I want to scissor. When I scissor, it starts to rotate a little bit my hips. Because if I'm here, I feel like I'm just too locked. So I'm just going to scissor a little bit and start to rotate and drive into him. Then I notice how the lock comes up. Then I can swing over the top and catch. Here. Bridge up, catch, and then start my escape. Okay, so that's just the second option for escaping body lock. Any questions? All right, 1, 2, 3. Thank you.